about age. It's about living.
Hello, I'm Lynn May. Welcome to Act 2 with Newsday. Our first guest is Dr. Farooq Khan, a physician, a teacher, and a spiritual leader in his community and around the world. Dr. Farooq Khan is one of those rare people who defy aging. He'll tell you that he doesn't have time to worry about it. He came to America as a young man to study medicine, and he never left. Lucky for us. Dr. Khan is a renowned pulmonologist, and he's on the research team that discovered the drug Cipro. He raised his family right here on Long Island, and at the same time raised a community in faith. As one of the founders of the Long Island Islamic Center, his life's work now is to build bridges across various faiths and diverse communities.
I'm so glad that Dr. Khan is being profiled, because not only as an American citizen or as a Muslim or as the president of the Islamic Center of Long Island, but just as a great individual. And he is a great role model for all people and all types of walks of life.
He was never just a doctor or just a community organizer or just a father. All those roles were always intertwined.
I've had firsthand opportunity to work with him and his trainees to see that he was a wonderful and inspiring teacher and an excellent clinician. And you know, he is a real physician who's made significant fundamental clinical research contributions to the field of pulmonary medicine.
Being the youngest, he was the favorite in the family. And my father and mother had a lot of affection for him, more than I think all of us, because he was the youngest.
When I came here in 1966, my wife and I had made a pact, basically, that we would get our training and return to Kashmir in 5 years. Well, now it's over 40 years. The question is, why didn't we go back? It was basically the political situation in Kashmir, which was responsible for our staying here, and staying here by choice. Because even my dad wrote to me, he says, don't come back, because the situation here is so bad that your talents will be wasted. Stay where you are, do good, and you'll be of great help to the larger community.
We have been married for over 38 years, and our marriage has been a very happy one. Farooq, you have been a very kind, caring, loving, and compassionate husband, and I thank you for that.
We join with the whole community in giving credit to Dr. Khan for his belief, for his heroism, and his leadership. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your story.
God bless you. Dr. Khan is a member of our college foundation and a dear friend. One who invited me to his home, of course with his wife, for a wonderful dinner upon my introduction to Long Island. I embrace him as a brother, and I salute him in his great work at lifting up the Muslim community and fostering better relationships between his community and all of us here on Long Island.
The faith I represent, which is the second largest in the world, is a faith of peace, which has been hijacked by extremists, and we want to bring back the message of moderation and tolerance and mutual respect. Living in North America, where there is so much miscommunication, misinformation about the Muslims, that it behooves us to go out and explain ourselves. And from that emerged a very strong outreach program that we have with synagogues, with churches, with multi-faith forum, and you name it. Whoever invites us, we go and present ourselves. The response has been very gratifying. And invariably what happens is when people come in and spend some time with us here, and they say that, gee, there's so much in common between us as individuals of different faiths, then there are differences. And so we try to stress on the commonalities of the faiths.
This center has been very warm, not only to me, but to all individuals who come here from all walks of life. Whether they be Muslims, whether they be non-Muslims, it doesn't make a difference. And that's the beauty of this community to me. The diversity, the outreach, it's just something that I think if every community could experience this, the world would be a lot better place to live.
So let's join hands and work towards the same goal. And he's made that possible, where other people were skeptical of coming forward. he had no problem with that at all.
It saddens me when I go overseas and see the very poor image which our country has. You go to any part of the world, you'll know that Coca-Cola comes from the United States. But they will not know the greatness that exists in the United States. How so many different communities and societies and cultures are able to work through and live together in peace and harmony. This is a message which needs to go out to the rest of the world. So each one of us in our own ways can help get that message across. I do a fair amount of writing, I do a fair amount of traveling. I want to share what I have learned with as many people as I can. I want to help bring a lot of people and train them here and expose them to the great country that we have here and help them go back to the countries they come from, because United States, in my view, is the greatest country in the world. And we have a lot to offer, but we need to share it. We cannot be isolationist. We need to have a little broader vision of our society, and that will be beneficial for everyone.
And joining us now is Dr. Farooq Khan. Dr. Khan, I am so delighted to have an opportunity to talk to you. I, of course, know about you, and you are so well known here, not only on Long Island, but around the world for your fine work.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So thank you for coming. I'm interested in the story of your life from a slightly different approach. I want to know, before you came to America, what your vision, what your image of this country was. And how old were you when you came up?
22.
22, all right. A young man's image.
Young man, just graduated from medical school and wanted to pursue further advanced education. And United States was the best. So made some inquiries and made the appropriate arrangements and came over.
How close to your image was it when you came, and what were those early years of fitting into a different culture like?
What surprised me was that the folks I interacted with originally didn't really have a global view of the world. It was kind of an inward looking, just what I know about my next door neighbor or the village. They didn't know a whole lot about the rest of the world. I'm talking about the late 60s. Now things have changed.
Do you think, well, changed for the better, do you think that was the result of a limited American education? Because so often when you meet people from other countries, they know so much about our history that it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's our system at that time was more inward looking, parochial, and not focused like the European system or the British system, and so I think it was a part of the educational system, and also not many people used to travel those days.
That's true, and it's interesting because I traveled maybe more and a little bit earlier, so it's surprising to hear you say from the other view that Americans were more insular than they are now, because some of us feel we are more insular now than we were 40 years ago, but you don't think so?
No, I think now things are changing. From an immigrant's point of view, now there's an easier road for the immigrants in the United States, at least till recently.
Well, we certainly are seeing in the news some questions about how we deal with illegal immigrants in this country, so there still apparently is a way to go. Well, as you became part of America, what prompted you to reach so far beyond what you came here to do personally, professionally, that you have taken on a much broader mission?
Part of it is fate, destiny, good luck, family, support. All those play role models in the professional field and the needs of the community. And there was clearly a need within the Muslim community for someone to get involved, to get engaged. Issues were coming up. And I just feel fortunate that I was in the right place at the right time.
Talk about the process of beginning the mosque. Was there surprise when you began this?
It was basically a response to our children's needs. They would come home and they say, "Where's my Hanukkah? Where's my Christmas tree?" And we were, a few families. We were all facing the same issues. So we said, let's get together, guys, and let's start something. And that was the beginning of the mosque, the Islamic Center of the Long Island.
When you talk about the children being the focus, how does one raise a child in this environment if you are Eastern in values and Western in influence?
I think that's one of the biggest challenges which we face as parents, myself included. How do I reconcile the Western society with some of the issues which I don't agree with? And but my advice to the children is, you have the best of both worlds. Look at the Eastern values, look at the Western values, take the best from both, and from that can emerge a real model.
Does it place them in conflict at all?
Yes.
Some conflict is, I think, a good thing, probably.
Conflict, yes, particularly for the girls. Yeah. It's a conflict. Can I go out on a date? Can I do this? Can I do that? Those are real conflicts, and those are issues which the community is trying to address. But again, the community is making progress in addressing many of these issues.
Since 9/11, your work has become more difficult and probably, I believe, much more valuable. How has that changed, if it has at all, your approach?
Good news and bad news. The good news that the larger community is very interested in knowing about the Muslims. So I am inundated with requests, and so are my colleagues, going to schools, churches, universities, and talking about who we are, putting the human face on the Muslims. On the government level, we are facing major problems with eroding civil rights. There are many, many professionals I know who are currently imprisoned, U.S. citizens, who do not get their day in court.
And some of this has come through challenges to Muslim charities, which do so much good work.
Which is again one of our pillars. One of the pillars of Islam is charity and giving money to the needy. And now, so there's a chill within the community. Who do I give to? Because every time we turn around, another charity gets closed. So yes, we have issues at the federal government. We're working with the federal government and hoping to get some relief in this, because this is an issue for everybody.
Absolutely.
If I lose my civil rights, the next person
Everyone
will lose
is vulnerable.
theirs.
You are hopeful.
I'm always hopeful. I'm always optimistic. It's a great country. We have every 4 years and every 2 years we get a chance to vote out people who we don't agree with. So I'm hoping the citizens will exercise their judgment and get good people on board.
Well, I know that on behalf of everyone who lives on Long Island, the value you bring to the community, and thank you for helping keep an important dialogue open for all of us. Dr. Khan.
It's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.